Hi, I'm Father Anthony Hannon. This is To Prepare His Way. And I don't know why I never thought of this before, but why don't you come for a drive with me? I didn't have actually the equipment to be able to do this. I stopped at Canadian Tire and I stopped at Walmart and Canadian Tire and found this little gadget for, I think it was $11. And let's see what we're going to do here. I got my Canadian and Quebec flag. I'm in the province of Quebec right now. And obviously when I'm driving, I can't pay attention to any of this. I'm just going to set it up. I'm just going to let it go. I don't know, how long we'll do this. I don't know how shaky it's going to be. But yeah, I'm going to go to Trois-Rivières. It's, I'm going to start the truck up and find out what, I'm in a parking lot right now. I'm in the entire parking lot. And hello, SHUR7316 or 10, I'm not sure. So I won't be looking at the chats or anything like that as I'm driving. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be a danger. I wouldn't want to get a ticket or anything like that. Sorry for the close up on my eyes there. I'm just gonna type in where I'm going to. We're going to see if we can find the cathedral at Trois-Rivières, and hopefully by the time I get there, the doors will be open, and we'll go in. I may turn off the live stream, and then go in, check things out, before I then go live again. We might do that. It's 51 kilometers. Eyes on the road. Yeah, eyes on the road. Don't worry. You're not gonna.
Please drive
You're not.
to highlighted route.
You're not gonna look at me for sure. As a matter of fact, when I was coming from Sherbrooke this morning, it was so beautiful, the mountains or the hills or whatever, and I thought, boy, I'd like to share this, but I didn't have any equipment to do it. Okay, let's get on the road. Let's do this. How's that angle? You don't like less hood. There's where we're going. Kind of. How's that look? Okay. This here is the mount for the contraption here. I wonder if I can lower that. Oops. Sorry. Oops. There's a nice picture of my floor. Oops. Still live? Are we still live? Let's see. Just trying to lower this. I think the challenge is when I lower it, it might be more difficult to. Oh, I can't lower it completely. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. Little adjustments here. And obviously, if I don't touch it, it shouldn't fall down. Okay, let's tighten this up again. I'm curious to see how much it shakes. It's gonna shake. Just to show everyone again, flying the colors there. The sign of resistance. The signs of resistance are national and provincial flags these days. Okay, let's go. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, I ask you to bless everyone and everything in front of me and the road and all travelers. In the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Now it's starting to get cloudy. It was a beautiful day. It's starting to get cloudy because the weather's shifting. And I knew that. I knew that this afternoon that they're calling for rain in Trois-Rivières, Sherbrooke, then Montreal. And but that's actually good, because if it's cloudy and if it's raining, then Vicar can stay in the car, in the truck, no problem. But if it's sunny and warm, like it's 18 degrees Celsius now, and 18 degrees Celsius is about 65 degrees Fahrenheit. But if it's sunny, the truck will be too hot. Well, this is a four-way stop. Got to take the corners wide with the trailer.
In 1 kilometer, take the ramp on the right to Aut 20 East toward Quebec.
This GPS voice is kind of funny because it tries to do a French accent. Speaking English, but tries to say French accent. This is kind of like my live dash cam. A few years ago, I bought a dash cam. And eventually it wouldn't stick to the windshield anymore. I've got to get some sort of plastic or something that will allow me to make it work. And that dash cam would just record, you know, on an SD card. Or maybe it was a mini SD card. If I'm stopped at a light like this, you can leave a chat, or I can maybe check. Fires back. Hey, so people are chatting it up there. That's good. Canada doesn't have green arrow. Yeah, we have green arrow turn lights, not necessarily at every intersection. Quebec is a little bit different too. This is very strange lights compared to the rest of Canada. These horizontal traffic lights. And I'm not sure if it's all of Quebec or if it's just Montreal, but there's no right turns on a red light.
400 meters, take the ramp on the right to Aut 20 East toward Quebec.
Great, Quebec. It is kind of neat, you know, here, like I'm back in Canada, I feel a lot more comfortable, but it's definitely Quebec, and everyone is speaking French here. And to my embarrassment, I'm not bilingual, but I do have a vocabulary, you know, naturally growing up in Ottawa. But you know what's really interesting here? I mean, I've just been out and about for a little bit uh, in Sherbrooke and now Drummondville, and the people that I'm seeing, there's a real familiarity to it. You know, I'm half of me has French ancestry on my mom's side. And I remember one French priest in Ottawa, he said, "You look so French, you know, you have that look." And then on my dad's side, it's Irish or Irish and Scottish or something like that. And you know, even the border agent there coming across, you know, after midnight, he was half Irish, half French. So I see people and there's a real familiar look, you know, the familiar features. And I saw someone that looked like someone I knew, and I thought, yeah, I bet if that family moved to Quebec, because the French is their first language, I bet if they moved to Quebec, they'd feel like, now I'm settled, now I'm home. So I feel home here in Quebec because it's Canada, but I am, you know, from Ontario. But you know, I belong to the Archdiocese of Ottawa. Well, now it's Ottawa Cornwall. It's a bilingual diocese, multilingual, but officially bilingual, French and English. And since I am not, you know, I don't understand French or in general, you know, in that sense, I don't feel at home in my own diocese. The retreat center is in the Archdiocese of Kingston, which is predominantly English. I think one priest told me there's one French parish there, but every time they have a diocesan celebration, they have some readings or prayers in French. But I may have said in some other video, you know, talking to this lady and her husband who came from the Netherlands in the 1950s, and they didn't
Take the ramp on the right to Aut 20 East toward Quebec.
They didn't speak English when they came here, and they have, you know, heavy Dutch accents, you know, 60 years later. And I was just having a conversation with her. She said she moved, you know, to such and such an area out in the rural areas, and they, you know, her husband, new husband, they married in the Netherlands, and then moved to Canada almost the next day. So we do get some shaking, obviously, on this gadget that I have on the mirror. So I hope that's not. I guess I kind of steady it with my right hand here. Anyway, we're on this highway for 30 kilometers, which is about 18 miles. But they came from Holland, you know, and they worked on a farm. He worked on a farm. Maybe she did too, milking cows or something. Hired themselves out. They're farmers now. Well, actually, he's deceased, and well, she's too old. But you know, their family farm. And I asked, "Did you go to such and such parish? You know, St. Michael's?" They said, "No, we went to St. Philip's." Oh, St. Philip's, that's a beautiful church there. Beautiful country church. And she said, "Yeah, every week we felt at home. Every week we felt at home." Why? Because the Mass was the same. It was all in Latin, and it was all the same all around the world. So it was the same Mass that they grew up with, the same that they, you know, like a month before when they left Holland, it's the same Mass, right? So I think there is something very unifying about language. And even though, like, I don't know Latin's not a conversational language. I'm gonna have to speed up a little bit. I'm going 82 kilometers an hour. The speed limit is 100, which is 60 miles an hour. And 80 is 50 miles an hour. I had suggested to my former Archbishop that maybe they could teach all the children the Our Father in Latin in all the government-run Catholic schools. Maybe if he asked the schools, they would do that. And then tell the priest to offer Mass, whenever they offer Mass on Sunday in whatever language, that the Our Father would be prayed in Latin. And I said, look, I don't even know the Our Father in Latin. I don't have it memorized. But one of the reasons I suggested that was because the diocesan masses, the bishop before him, so the bishop before him was Archbishop Marcel Gervais, who ordained me, both deacon and priest. And Archbishop Gervais at diocesan masses, he would just invite everyone to pray the Our Father in the language of their choice. So, you know, almost 50% of the people prayed in, or a good chunk prayed in French, and a good chunk prayed in English, and others prayed in other languages. And that's okay. God understands, and everyone understands their own language. So that's fine. But Archbishop Prendergast, who was the successor of Archbishop Gervais, at the diocesan masses, he always started the Our Father in Latin, and everyone prayed the Our Father in Latin. But anyway, he didn't want to go for it or whatever. Everyone, you know, when you're in a parish, and you may say this should be done, or this wouldn't it be good if this. The thing is, the priest has so many directions that he could go, so many problems to solve. So it does become a bit of a, well, very much a priority thing.
Hello?
Okay, I think, okay, so obviously someone was phoning me. For the fun of it, I thought I would answer it to see if we lost the live stream. And we did lose the live stream, but we're back. Construction zone. So the parish priest has many problems, and so it becomes a matter of priorities, which way he thinks, what he thinks is most important at the moment for the community. And I know it's really hard as a layperson, because depending where you're at, certain things should be number one. Okay. Okay, I don't know what happened there. It might have been because that phone call that came in. It might have been just because I'm between cell towers. So I'm going to switch it around here. And anyway, I was just kind of rambling a bit about priorities. A priest and a bishop also has to have priorities, and they might know a lot more than you or I might know, right? Like a bishop, for example, or a parish priest, he gets to know the parishioners, and there's all sorts of parishioners coming at him saying the parish should do this, the mass should be like this, etc., etc. And it doesn't mean that the priest disagrees with you, but he has to try to implement things in the way that he thinks it is best. So anyway, so that's the way it was with, I'm sure, with Archbishop Prendergast. I'm not saying I brought a lot of ideas to him, and maybe some of them he thought it was a bit way out in left field, but he would never say that. He would respect me, and he'd say, "I'll pray about it." So it is about what fire to put out, or what structure to build, or whatever you want to call it. So this is Route 20, 4-lane highway, the province of Quebec. We're going between Drummondville to Trois-Rivières, Three Rivers. And if nothing else, like if I can't get into the cathedral, or I can't get into the Saint Antoine, where the remains of Blessed Frederick Janson is, then I'll see if I can't get over to at least the shrine of Cap de Madeleine, Our Lady of the Cape, and we can at least see some of the outside. And like I say, I'll likely turn off the live stream, and then start up again. In part at least, so that I could go to these places and offer my own prayers and have my own reflections. And then, so say for example, if the cathedral is open, I don't want to be going in there talking. I want to talk to you first, and then just go. That might be something I'll do. Just go in and pray silently. But this highway seems to be in pretty good shape at this point. It is shaking a bit. If I put my finger there, which I'm not going to leave it there all the time. Obviously, I have to keep my hands on the wheel and my eyes upon the road. Yeah. Now I bet you I can get an elastic or And I bet you that would stop the shaking. We're supposed to be on this road for 30 kilometers or 18 miles, and in 9 kilometers, we're 2/3 of the way down the road already. 9 kilometers, we get off. The estimated time of arrival is 3:15. It's 20 to 3 now. It's 2:38. The ETA is 3:13. But I'm going to stop before that. I may keep the live stream going, but I'm going to have to get off camera for 5 minutes or something soon. Vicker's in the truck with me. He's in his safe place. He's in his crate. He's very comfortable there. He's very content there. Back of this truck has 2 dogs on it. That Skidoo truck. And there's an RV towing a travel trailer. At the border crossings, except for the last one, I put a muzzle on Vicker. I pulled over before I got up to the border crossing and put a muzzle on Vicker so that he wouldn't bark, because if I am going slow and I open up the window, he starts barking. But when I crossed into the States yesterday afternoon, even though he had the muzzle on, he was barking like crazy, because I said, you can open the door, and they said, you can roll down the window. I said, he's in a cage. And as soon as I unrolled the window, as soon as he saw them, he started barking like crazy, even though he had the muzzle on. Put the muzzle on him. So we had a good number at the beginning until the live stream went offline. Yeah, Victor is my truck alarm. That's what one person said. I don't know if you saw that cow on top of that roof. We're heading northeast, which is the direction that we're faced right now. Thoughts when I was going through the States. Well, first of all, it's interesting in the state of Maine anyway. The gas station.
1.5 kilometers, take exit 210 on the right to Aut 55 north, then keep left.
When they list the price of the gas stations, they have three prices. Like here, they'll have two prices. I think they might have four even. They might have like 87 octane, 89, and 91 or something, and then diesel. But down there, it seems like every gas station has a club or something that's going on, and they list the discounted price.
Take exit 210 on the right to Aut 55 North, then keep left.
So in the United States, most of the gas stations, they have three prices. One is either the club price or the cash price. And then they have, if you pay by credit card price, which is a few cents more.
Keep left to Aut 55 North.
Sometimes it's quite a bit more, 20 cents a gallon more. For the credit card price, and then they have the diesel price.
Keep right to Aut 55 North.
Aut 55 North, okay. The truck is actually a very smooth ride. You know, it has the big wheels. It's got good suspension. And it's very much like a luxury vehicle, these F-150s. This is a 2013. But if you're my passenger on this video, it would seem like it's a very bumpy ride because of the vibrations. Well, this is the first time we've tried this, so. Okay.
Continue on auto route to Lane Airby.
Where? Yeah. Gotta make sure I'm going in the right lane here. Early for the people behind us. Now the rain's pretty much compared to that. It was hardly raining at all. It was hardly raining at all. But with that heavy rain, I had to slow down again. It just wasn't safe. There's a sign coming up. I don't know if you can read it. Leonard Gaston Saint Wenceslas. Almost everything is named after saint. So that was one thing I noticed in the States, the way they list the gas prices. The price of gas in Maine is definitely cheaper than here in Quebec and in Ontario. But probably about 20%, thinking off the top of my head, cheaper. With the conversion. That's like I'm using like a 1.4 conversion, Canadian to American dollars. And the way I figured that out was on my trip meter. Since the last time I put gas, it was 24 kilometers. 24 liters. Sorry, 24 liters. I think 6 or 7 liters. 6 or 7 US gallons. And I took the price that I paid, I multiplied that by 1.4 to get Canadian dollar equivalents. And then I divided it by 24 liters. And it came out to like $1.37 Canadian per liter. We've had, a few weeks ago we had $1.35 or something like that in Ontario, but so it all fluctuates. But presently you might have seen the gas prices here in Quebec, $1.70 something a liter, and then in Maine, it looked like the price range was like $3.43 to $3.62 a US gallon. The next exit I'm going to get off, in part to let the people behind me pass me, and in part to take a little pit stop. But I'm just going to leave the camera on. After I do that, I'm tempted to just pull over right here, but yeah, maybe I should have done that. I don't really want to draw attention to myself. If I pull over, then the Quebec police might stop by and wondering what I'm doing. 98, 99 kilometers per hour right now. When the big trucks go by and I'm at this speed, it definitely shakes the trailer and the truck a little bit. So I don't feel comfortable going much faster than this. No, not. I don't want to feel comfortable going faster than this at all. I'd rather be going a bit slower. The next exit is 4.5 kilometers. Rivière Blanche, White River, I guess. Road's pretty dry right here. St. Celestine. Celestine. I'm not sure. Celestine. After I stop and have my pit stop, then I'll just I'll take a look at the chats there. See what's been happening. You have traffic light on the highway up here. Esso station somewhere. Maybe I think we're gonna go to 4-lane traffic now. I'm gonna pull over right here. This is a good spot to pull over. Vicar Rivers. I'll be right back. You okay, Vicar? I'm still gonna pull over up if I see that Esso station, a kilometer ahead apparently, and that's so I can take Vicar out for a bit. The data that I have on my cell phone plan is 20 gigabytes a month, which I found from the truckers convoy. That's equivalent to 20 hours of live streaming. So that's why I thought I would that's where I thought I can afford doing this little drive. What's going on here? Am I allowed to go here? No, I guess I'm not. I gotta pay more attention. That's a way station. I thought that was the Esso station. Okay. So the other thing is I look at this tower to the left here, which doesn't look like, it looks like it just has, I just think I'll let this guy in. Just let that guy in. One thing that's interesting in Quebec is these, on the highways, they have lines for the oncoming traffic. Whereas in Ontario, signs, which means it's supposed to be an acceleration lane. But the way that it's set up here in Quebec, they are acceleration lanes. And like that guy, he wasn't going to be stopping. He's, right? Anyway, as I was driving through the States, you know, there's a bit of a different feel there. I sense a little bit more freedom, although I think that Maine is what they call a blue state, that is more predominantly Democrat. I could be wrong there, but I don't think I am. But there is a sense, still a sense of freedom, I think, in the States, or maybe that's just what I get. I found the Americans that I met very friendly for the most part. People are people. I met some very, very friendly individuals, and the odd person that seemed quite indifferent. Well, that's the same as in Canada or anywhere. Okay, so if there was an Esso station, I don't know where it is. Well, I guess they said I would have had to turn left. That's okay. But I'd see these towers. With, you know, the number between 4 and 6, and the letter between F and H. And every time I saw them, I was like, yeah, the government doesn't like the people here either. That's the way I look at it. I do not think that these new signals, this new generation of signals, I do not think that they are innocuous. So, and I also saw, you know, a lot of solar panel fields, solar farms, and also those monstrosity of windmills. And I, for one, when I see those things, I see an agenda more than anything else. So most people, I think, are just oblivious. They don't know. They don't know what's going on. Not that I know everything that's going on. Don't get me wrong. But even government leaders, elected officials, legislators, um, they're not like in on the plan. They're just doing what they've been told. And if they watch the news all the time, that's where they think the world is. If they watch the mainstream media news, here in Canada, CBC in particular, but also CTV and Global. Okay, I said I was going to get off so that I can let Vicar relieve himself. Like I say, at the very least, I should be able to get the camera down to Captain Madeleine, the shrine, the basilica, the chapel. I don't know if the cathedral or Saint Antoine is going to be open. Of course, the other challenge.
Take the ramp ahead.
No, I'm not taking the ramp ahead. I'm turning left. So figure it out, GPS lady. Yeah, I'm not sure if the cathedral, the other problem with Saint Antoine and where it is, and the cathedral where it is, it is a problem with parking. As a matter of fact, I got a parking ticket in Trois-Rivières last time I went to the cathedral. This cathedral, in my opinion, like at least for me, at least for where I was at in my spiritual life. Oops, I guess I should have turned left there. Okay, let's go for a little tour of whatever
Turn
village
right
we're in.
on the Arsenault, then take the first right.
No, I'm going to turn left into the Petro-Canada. I'm going to take a wide circle, and then I'm going to turn. I think I'm just going to go through this parking lot, maybe. Let me just see. What can I do? What can I do? Nope. I got to go. Where am I? Okay, there's a parking lot. I'm going to turn right. I want to go over. Oops. Sorry for the rocky road there. Passengers went through a big pothole.
Turn right on Rio Quay, then take the first right.
No, I want to turn into here.
Turn right at the stop sign.
Rue Noel. I guess that means, does that mean Christmas Street? Oh, this is where I'm going to go, right here on this dirt path. Right here. Don't think anyone's behind me. There's some farmers' fields. I'm guessing it's planting corn. This is like off-road. This you probably can't see it on the camera, but this is like ski moguls. If this was on a hill, this would be a downhill skiing moguls. You can enjoy this beautiful view of those towers and the everything going by. And I'll take Vicar out. We'll take him out in front so you can see us for a bit. dog. So sorry, I guess I could have parked in a more interesting place. You could have watched people walk by and stuff. Sorry about that. Wasn't very considerate of my passengers. For those who haven't seen, the sign of freedom, the sign of resistance. Let's take a look at the live chat. It's too much for me to read through, but I'm sure I'll look at it later. So you're talking to one another. That's awesome. Yeah, diesel trucks make me nervous on the road. Well, it's not so much the diesel, it's just the size of the other trucks. Some pickup trucks have diesel. Out of range must be the weather. The miracle of Sister Wilhelmina. Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, sounds great. Uncorrupt body. Oops. Cheaper if you're paying cash. Like he's talking about the gas prices there in the United States. Everyone left but me. Well, now there's 7 people come back. See if I get out of the picture and stop talking, people start coming back on. So anyway, we should get on the road, and I should stop dilly-dallying here. So let's switch it around. I'm going to start listening to the GPS now. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. The ETA for in front of the cathedral has been adjusted by the GPS to 15:35 Eastern Time. Quebec and Ontario time, and Maine time, and New York time.
Turn left at the stop sign, then take the first right.
Okay. I will be obedient. Is that straight? I guess you don't need to look at the hood very much. You'll get car sick if you're looking at the hood.
Turn right at the traffic light, then take the first left.
Now, like I said, I don't know if it's across. There's the price of gas here is $1.69.4 per liter. And I think it's 3.78 liters in a US gallon. But I'm not sure if it's across the whole province that.
Turn left at the traffic light.
Okay. I'm not sure if it's across the whole province that you cannot take a right-hand turn on a red light. In Ontario, you can, unless signed otherwise. And I did see in a few places in Drummondville and Sherbrooke where it said no right on red. So that tells me that there's a chance that you can normally take it, but I don't want to take a chance. Oh yeah, I was telling you the parking is really bad in front of Saint Antoine and in front of what in front of the cathedral. When I went into the cathedral the very first time, I was awestruck with the beauty inside, and they had classical music playing and the lights just right, and it was just perfect for me at that time.
8 kilometers. Take exit 182 on the right to Alt 40 East.
So since I knew that our souls hunger for truth, goodness, and beauty, I said to myself, I'm just going to sit here for a little bit and soak in the beauty. Well, I could only, a little bit of emergency stop here. I taken my glasses off temporarily. Oh, what's going on here? I don't want to watch those yellow flashing lights, so I'll get away from them. I took my glasses off temporarily and wiping my eyes. So that came up on me a little quicker than I thought. Anyway, I was in the cathedral soaking in the beauty, and I could only handle it for about 10 or 15 minutes, as I recall, something like that. I had to leave. It was too much beauty. I had to leave. And I went for a walk in the beauty of creation, the city and the park or whatever. And then I went back to the cathedral to soak in a little bit more beauty. I had to get used to the beauty, if you understand that. And that gave me an insight about the beatific vision and about why our souls need to be purified. We hear the saying, there's a saying, blinded by the light, right? I mean, we have to prepare ourselves to see God, who is beauty. The beauty that we see on earth is just a foretaste of how beautiful God is. And it's as though our souls, or my soul, I could put it like that, did not have the capacity, or was not pure enough to sit in that beauty. So I would say that's part of the purification of the soul, and what we as Catholics call purgatory. And that is a mercy and a grace of God. So I went back into the cathedral, and I think I did that like 2 or 3 times. And the last time I thought, I don't have to put more money in the meter, And I came back and I got a parking ticket. Now, I guess I was supposed to mail in the fine for the parking ticket, right? And obviously, Centerville, I'm supposed to exit in 6.3 kilometers, exit 182 Centerville. But obviously, there's some sort of is it rush hour or is it just construction? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Anyway, I guess I was supposed to mail in the fine, and I never did it, but it was weighing on my conscience. And about 5 years later, or something like that, there was, because when I got that ticket, I was on a priest retreat with the Archdiocese. Someone's just taking a peek around. They can't see up high like me, and I could raise my seat even higher. I can see over all those cars. And I was on a priest retreat up at Cap de Madeleine when I went in the cathedral that first time, and then about 5 or 6 years later, we had another priest retreat at that same location. So, and that would have been I think that would have been 2013. I remember because it was my birthday at the time. And my dad phoned me from the nursing home, and I have that voicemail of him calling and saying, "Hi, Anthony. with his very, strained voice because of his condition. And he said, "I just calling to wish you a happy birthday and I love you." So I'm happy I have that on my computer. I have to make more copies of that. Listen to it now and then. And I was on retreat, so I didn't get the message till later. But anyhow, at that time, I asked one of the priests who is bilingual, like fluently bilingual, like French is his first language, if he would come down to City Hall, and I can see that the left lane that I'm in is actually closed up ahead. So that should be fun, getting into the right lane. But I have found my experience here in Quebec, going back to that year, and I think it was 2013, it might have been 2012. That the Quebec drivers, despite they have the fact that they have a reputation for, and they cut people off and everything like that, they really respected me and towing the trailer, because I brought the trailer up to Cap de Madeleine because they have camping spots there at Cap de Madeleine if you're on pilgrimage. So I took the room that all the other, like in the I think they call it Madonna Hotel there or something like that. And I took the room so I could go take a shower, but I slept in my trailer by the St. Lawrence River. Anyway, I go back, I bring this priest who's fluently bilingual to the office, because I want to bring the ticket and I want to pay for the ticket. My conscience was bothering me that I had not paid for that ticket. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was $50 or something. Anyway, long story short, after a few years, they just write off these tickets off that weren't paid. And since I was out of province, they didn't do anything about it. So I was back in the province and I was forgiven that debt. But now I'd just rather have a clear conscience right from the get-go. So we might as well not get a parking ticket. And if I do get it, I might as well pay it. Something like that. So it looks like there's a bridge up ahead. I guess I should start moving over to start being part of the solution rather than the problem. And the ETA to get to the cathedral keeps getting pushed back. So going back to that pit stop, sure says, "I like the view, Father. LOL. Amen. Onward we go. Safe journey, Father. LOL. Sounds cheap." Yeah, probably reaction to $1.69 sounds cheap. Yeah, but it's a liter, not a gallon. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. Thanks for keeping me company a little bit. Maybe we can pray the rosary or something. Something you might do if I had passengers, or even by myself. Anyway, speaking of gas, I better look at my gas gauge. And looks like I have a little over half a tank. According to my driving habits, the truck's computer has calculated that I have 341 kilometers to empty. I do have 20 liters, two 10-liter gas cans in the back of the truck because I brought the generator. So if tonight or whenever I decide to go back to Ontario Aero land, if I don't have enough gas, I'll probably put that 20 liters in. Towing the trailer, I can go about 100 kilometers on 20 liters if I do it right. And yeah, just get back to Ontario where the price of gas will be a little bit lower than in Quebec. A kilometer is 1,000 meters. A meter is just a little bit more than a yard. 3 feet, 3 inches or something like that. Here's a big RV bus towing a car. That's what we're just passing right now. So it's funny up here, like I was in grade school when the switch was happening regarding, I think if I get up a little further, I'll cut in front of the bus. I think he'll let me in. Or if he keeps going ahead of me, I'll tuck in behind him. So in general, now I don't know about the younger generation, but my generation, we still weigh ourselves in pounds. So the last time I weighed myself, I weighed about 182 pounds, which is pretty good because for many, many years now, I've been over 200, up to about 212. And I'm doing intermittent fasting, although I didn't today. I had a McDonald's sausage egg McMuffin and an orange juice. And so we'll see who's gonna let me in here. Well, this van is not gonna let me in. I mean, I don't know what the solution is. Do I stay in this lane and just go all the way up to the bottleneck before I switch? Because one thing, the guy behind me, there's people behind me. Well, they can see now this big X. A kilometer is 0.6 of a mile. So 100 kilometers an hour is 60 miles an hour. At least that's the rough conversion. So we say 80 kilometers an hour, that would be 50 miles an hour, or 80 kilometers is 50 miles. But the easiest way, because I remember when we were miles here in Canada, like when I got my driver's license when I was 16 years old, I turned 16 in September of 1978. So 78 and 79, all the signs were miles per hour. And the highway oh, look, it just opened up. It just opened up. We got green lights here. It looks like. looks like we're good to go. I don't have to switch lanes. Well, I do have to, because in 5.4 kilometers, I have to be in the right lane. But it was always fun. And you Americans, you know this. If you go 60 miles an hour, since there's 60 minutes in an hour, if you're traveling on a highway and you're saying, oh, our destination is 45 miles and we're going 60 miles an hour, that's a mile a minute. So we're going to be there in 45 minutes. So I still do calculations like that when I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to be somewhere. And I generally calculate it based on 90 kilometers an hour. If it's 100 kilometers in a zone, and I say, well, just to play it safe, so I'll divide it by half, and then divide that by half, and add that to the half part of it. Sorry if that makes any sense. But 100 kilometers an hour is 60 miles an hour. So I end up converting the kilometers that I have to go into miles, and I end up converting the kilometers per hour into miles per hour, and that's how I calculate in my head. Here we go. Well, this should be fun going over the bridge. I think I should be in the right lane going over the bridge just so everyone can see it. Or would it be better in the middle lane? Anyway, there's a chance for me to get over, so I'm moving over. So generally, like I don't measure miles per hour, miles per gallon anymore. And even when I was young, when I was 16, 17 years, 18 years old, miles per gallon was different in Canadian than in US, because in Canada, the gallon, we use the British gallon, which is larger than the US gallon. And I can't remember what the difference is right now, but so like if a vehicle got 20 miles to the gallon, we'd have to say, is that American gallons or Canadian gallons? Because obviously you'd get, the number would be higher if it's Canadian gallons, because you're going to get more miles per gallon with a larger gallon. But now my mind is completely changed, and the way we measure it in metric is how many liters does it take to go 100 kilometers. So this truck, from the beginning, since I've gotten it, actually it's just changed because I've just done like on this trip almost 1,800 kilometers towing the vehicle, which is much worse. Like I was averaging 23.2 liters per 100 kilometers towing this vehicle. But my average overall of the life of this truck is 14.4 liters per 100 kilometer. But in the summertime, if I keep it at 90 or 80 kilometers an hour, I can do 12, I can go 100 kilometers on only 12 liters, or even less. Here we go. Oh, look how close we are to the edge here. It's always exciting going over a big tall bridge like this. I'll turn the camera for you. That's as much as I can turn it, I think. I release it. I just hold it with my other hand temporarily. I'll try to get it back in. Look, Mom, no hands on the bridge. There we go. Both hands on the wheel. Yeah, so I measure myself in feet and inches, not in centimeters, but on our driver's license it says centimeters. My driver's license is inaccurate because I probably fit a little bit on my height, make it a little bit taller than I am. I believe my driver's license says I'm 173 centimeters or 1.73 meters, but I'm really probably like 5'7" to 5'8".
In 1.5 kilometers, take exit 182 on the right to Aut 40 East.
So I measure myself, in feet and inches. It seems to be easier for me to, if someone says their height in centimeters, that makes no sense to me. I have to think about it. It's too hard. Feet and inches and pounds. Now, kilograms to pounds, you multiply the kilograms by 2.2.
Take exit 182 on the right to Aut 40 East.
But what's funny, so liquid measurements and weights, I'm much more comfortable with liters and grams or kilograms. And just to show you how much, everything's based on 10 in the metric system, so it in a lot of ways it is easier. So if I want to know if I'm drinking 3 liters of water a day, okay, that's
in 2.5 kilometers, take exit 199 on the right toward Information Touristique.
Information Touristique, tourist information. So and I noticed in the Walmart in Maine, in Calais, Maine, they sell water bottles, and whatever the fluid ounces is, it is 500 milliliter. It's half liter. I thought that was interesting. And am I on a lane? What am I? It seems like I'm on the on the shoulder, you know, but I guess I'm in the lane.
In 1.5 kilometers, take exit 199 on the right toward Información Turística, then take the first right.
No trucks. That's a cube van. Do I count for that? But anyway, one liter of water weighs, you guessed it, 1 kilogram. Well, there's a confident driver for you. That Ford Ranger. God bless them. I always bless people. I don't curse the drivers. I bless them. Here's a church up here. A little bit further up on the right. Try to straighten this out for you a bit, so you're not looking sideways. In all likelihood, a Catholic
Take exit
church.
199 on the right toward Información Turística, then take the first right.
I'm sticking right, sticking right. We're almost there, actually. This is Trois-Rivières Centerville. Okay. Maybe that's the cathedral right there. That probably is.
Turn right at the traffic light.
Saint Roch. R-O-C-H. Let's see what she says. So 3 liters times 2.2 is 6.6 pounds. Okay.
In 400 meters, turn left on Rue Saint Olivier, then take the first right.
Okay. Oh! I just hit the curb with my front tire, which is okay. I'm not the first one. I can see all sorts of black marks there. Or a big, wow, that's funny. Now I have to be careful when drivers are in little cars like this, you know, booting along. You know, in general, the safest thing is to go the speed of the traffic.
Turn left at the stop sign, then take the first right.
There's the police of Trois-Rivières. Is this a 4-way stop? It must be. Or 3-way stop. Or 2-way stop, I guess. But yeah, it's tempting to want to go the speed of everyone else, but I can't do that. It's not going to be safe. And I gotta take corners wide. In the city here, as I look in my rearview mirror, I can see that my tires went over the sidewalk there. I mean, it was lowered, ramped, and whatnot, but
Turn right at the traffic light.
if I take a corner too sharp, then correcting it becomes a real problem. Like if I'm going to be, you know, hitting a post or something. Because the trailer, in relation to the truck, it, what's going on here? Am I doing the right thing? In relation to the trailer, it pivots at the hitch at the back of the truck, but the trailer turns in relation to its wheels, right? The tires on the ground. So now I'm turning, it's pivoting on the, the trailer doesn't start turning till, later, well, earlier,
In
but it
300
pivots on the
meters,
tires.
turn left on Riart.
Okay, whoa. The GPS is taking me somewhere that I cannot go. Huh. So I'm going to turn right here instead and see what the GPS tells me to do. Because that's a too tight, where that truck's going right there, that's too tight of a corner. Because this must be new since the GPS map was updated, that they've got a one-way street up there. They've closed off half the street. Anyway, here's a little bit of a
Turn
tour.
right at the traffic light.
Turn
Then
ri-
take the first right.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going straight and turning left. Anyway, I should stop talking mathematics with metric and start paying
Turn
attention
left
to
at the
this.
traffic light. Then take the first left.
Hmm.
Turn left on Richon Plain. Then take the third right.
No, that's a one-way street, and you don't know it. Now, straight ahead here, I see there's a street called Notre Dame Center. And if I were to guess,
Turn left at the traffic light.
there is no traffic light. Oh, look at that. We got a big ship. So again, this is part of the St. Lawrence Seaway. So that's a laker, I guess they call it. Downtown Trois-Rivières, or Centerville, I guess is what they're calling it. So first I'll find the cathedral, and then I'll take a look at the parking signs and see if it's possible to park at this time of the day.
In 400 meters, turn left on Riart.
Okay, she said Riart or something like that. It's Rue Hart, H-A-R-T. It probably is Ruart, but Rue means street. So if I was just listening to the GPS and not looking at the letters, I would not be understanding what it's saying. I don't think I should misgender my GPS. It's an it, not a she, but I probably have said she. Okay, now these parking, it is paid parking. The cathedral's around the corner.
Turn left at the traffic light.
I don't know if I can. You can't turn left at the parking light. Oh yes, you can. No, yeah, can I? Okay. Oh, better stop. Okay. I'm thinking that's the cathedral with the clock in it.
Arriving at Rudy La Cathedral.
Okay. I didn't. Let's see what this says up here for parking. It says no parking, but motorcycles can park here. Or does that mean no parking for motorcycles? I think I'm going to pull up here. I'm going to get out and maybe ask this guy. So, the family vet guy. Or I'm going to try to read the signs myself. Okay. Okay, what it is, I have to pay by phone. And I put my license plate number in, and it looks like I can pay. So I'm gonna do that. I'll go back live stream shortly, but right now I gotta sign off. So in the meantime, God bless you, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.